I think there is, especially here in Qatar or this GCC country,
Uh-huh.
not there that kind of hard working and person like in the maybe in the European country or America or Canada, Australia. Not like that. Maybe I think they work not very hard.
Uh-huh. Okay, so they don't work as hard as in other countries in Qatar?
Yeah, I think that because there are here some different kind of working. I especially talk about the general sector, which
Mm-hmm.
related to Qatar government here.
Uh-huh. Like the
Okay.
civil what we call civil servants.
Yeah, but in the
Mhm.
maybe in the those who building the building or the private sector here maybe more working than the others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Now,
Hello?
yes, I hear you.
Oh, you can. Okay. Okay. Because
Yeah,
all of a
I
sudden,
can hear.
my entire computer system stopped. So I'm like, oh no. Okay. So you can.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I have actually heard that about some of the countries in the Middle East. What I was told is because the countries are so oil rich that people don't work as hard in certain areas. So, um,
Yeah. I think that, but that most of them not very rich. Maybe only maybe this
mm,
country like Qatar or Saudi Arabia or Emirates. Maybe they rich,
mhm.
but in the Egypt, in the Syria, in the Mauritania, in the Tunisia,
Yeah,
Algeria, no,
yeah.
not a
I
special person there
uh,
rich.
I actually heard it about Dubai and Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Qatar are the countries I
Mhm.
heard it about. So,
Mhm.
but I don't know if it's
But
true.
Dubai not country. Dubai is only city in other country.
True. That's the UAE. You're right. You're exactly right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very easy. It's kind of like saying New York for the U.S. So that's very true.
yeah.
And then another one that a lot of people say is what is it? They say Africa when they're really meaning Kenya. You know, they'll say the whole
Yeah,
country, the whole continent, and oh, the Africans, and really you're talking about Nigeria or one country, but you say Africa. That's another
yeah.
mistake people make. So, hello, Kako. How are you? Kako, are you there?
Yes, teacher. Hi.
Can you understand me?
Yes,
Yeah,
teacher.
just a deeper voice. Yeah.
But your voice today is better than tomorrow. You
Yesterday.
are you feeling better today?
It's yesterday. Um, it's about the same. It's just both of them. It's just different. Yesterday my nose was running, and today I'm coughing more, so I'm muting a lot. So anyway, um,
I can hear you today better than yesterday.
oh really? So
I,
yesterday was hard. Oh,
yeah,
I'm so sorry.
I think your voice is improving.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. But it's only been like somebody asked me in the last class how long I've been sick, and it's only been 3 or 4 days. So a few more days, and I'll have no problems anymore. But anyway, all right. The topic for this class is giving advice, And so let's go ahead and get started, and hopefully more people will come. So, but Kako, what time is it right now in Brazil?
It's midnight, teacher.
Ah, okay. So you are one of the night owls.
Night owl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you night
Yeah.
owl. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I am not a lark. I am an owl.
Okay. Me too. Me too. I prefer late at night as well. But all right. So, when we think about giving an advice, we have what I call it an advice thermometer, where we have basically, I think this is all stuff that you guys have heard before. You have these different words when you give advice. You have might, could, should, ought to, had, and must, right? Or it shouldn't be had. It should be had better, and must. So that might and could would be weak. So if you give somebody advice and it doesn't really matter whether they follow your advice, you could use might or could. And should and ought to, it's just a little bit stronger than might and could, but not much. If it doesn't matter, however, if it is, if it matters a lot that it's a life or death situation or something like that, if the person doesn't follow your advice, they could have problems, then it's better to use had better or must. And must is stronger than had better. And okay, so let me write this down. So had better there. Okay. Any questions here?
Okay. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
The word neutral.
A neutral. Okay. A neutral is say for example. Okay. A neutral is a word that is used where when it comes to opinion, there is no opinion. For example, the best way when you think of the history and you think of the history of the world, Switzerland was neutral during the last war. They were not on anyone's side, so they were neutral. Yeah,
I get it now.
Yeah. 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 So, hello, David.
Hi, Holly. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. Welcome back.
Thank you so much.
All right. So we've got these examples. Let's go ahead and read these. Kako, could you read the first one?
You might be able to ask for help from your colleague.
Okay.
You might be able.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent. So you might be able to ask. So it doesn't matter if you do, you could. Okay, next one. David, could you read the next one?
Okay, you could ask your colleague for help.
Perfect. Okay, and Ahmed, could you read the next one?
Yeah, I think you should ask your colleague for help.
Okay, excellent. All right, and Kako, the next one?
You ought to ask your colleague for help.
Okay, and David?
Okay, you had better ask your colleague for help.
Okay, and then the last one, Ahmed.
Yeah, you must ask your colleague for help, or you will probably get fired.
Okay, now basically all of these are pretty much the same, but when you start with might, and it's like you might be able to ask them for help, when you get down here, it's very, very important. If you must do something or had better, if you don't do it, it could be a life or death situation. So, all right. All right.
Death situation.
Yes. I said life or death situation.
Yes, from dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I wrote it on the Verbling chat. I'll write on the Verbling chat until I can't see it anymore, and then I'll move over to the Google chat. So, all right. Okay, so vocabulary focus. What is the difference between these words, advise and advice? Anybody know?
The first is a noun and the second a verb.
Perfect. Okay, now in American English, we use these two words, advise and advice. In British English, they only use one. Or is it the other way around? Uh-oh.
I suppose they use the first one.
Yeah, they use the first one. But I'm starting to think maybe it's American English that I don't. Oh, wow. One of them uses both and the other one doesn't. So, and then this is a problem Americans have, or native speakers have that work with both languages. Bear with me a moment. Okay. Okay, bear with me a moment. Okay, it is okay. I was right. American English. In British English, they only use the one, which is the first one. Okay. All right. Let's go on. Now it's time to practice, practice, practice. So what we're going to do in each one of we're going to go through different scenarios, and each scenario is slightly different. Most of them have to do with business situations, and what I want one of you will read it, and what I want you to do is ask the other people in the class what they would do and ask for advice. Okay, so what would you advise these people? So Akako, could you read this first one, and then let's then you please ask your colleagues what they would do.
Alfredo has lost some of his luggage. In that piece of luggage was a memory stick with PowerPoint slides for an important presentation. What should he do? What's your advice for him, David? What's your advice for him?
David, are you there? I wonder if his internet went out.
No, yes, I am here.
You're good. Okay, sometimes sometimes it happens and sometimes it doesn't. Okay.
Sorry for that. What was the question? I couldn't hear very well.
Okay, this first situation right here.
I have to give an advice to Alfredo.
Yeah.
Okay, Alfredo has lost some of his luggage in the piece. In that piece of luggage was a memory stick with PowerPoint slide. Okay. Well, I suppose that Alfredo must go to the airport and ask to the airline clerk, and well, he should.
I cannot hear.
Hello. Hello.
I think Holly and Dave's connections
Lost.
are not good. Yeah.
Mm. Okay, we can try I can try to listen to you when you advise Alfredo what to do in this case.
Yes.
What the meaning of
Hello?
clerk?
Okay, I'm back. I had muted and forgot I had. So it's David
Uh,
that had the problem, not me. Oh wow, that freaked me out. Okay. Okay, so in that situation, Ahmed, what would you do?
I advise him to go to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
There is a section there called the luggage. I don't know, luggage lost or like that.
Uh-huh.
Department of luggage lost, and should declare. He should give the description of its luggage and the details of the color and the number, the reference number, all of that, and try to try to uh, try to get him back, to get it back.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And has this ever happened to you in your many travels,
Sure,
Ahmed?
sure. I think we are here in when I travel to Mauritania. I know I have no choice to take two airlines. The first one from Qatar here to Tunisia or Algeria and Morocco, those countries who are near to my country.
Uh-huh.
And in these three countries, one of them I should take another airplane. Usually I take Qatar Airways
Uh-huh.
here from Qatar to Tunisia or Algeria or Morocco, and then their airlines I should take from it to Mauritania. And this operation usually caused the loss of our luggage.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's, especially in the Morocco, there is some police officer open the luggage and steal what they want. After that, close the luggage and send you for send it for you as a good a good way,
Mm-hmm.
as nobody open it.
Mm-hmm. All right. And and Kako, what did you write? I can't actually see that anymore. I think we need to use the Google chat. All I see is clerk equals a worker.
Can you repeat, teacher?
Yeah, you wrote something on the Verbling chat.
Okay.
I can't see it. So
Be-
Ahmed
because he,
Ahmed asked me what is clerk, and then I put in the
oh,
chat box now.
okay. All
but
right.
but I can't see anything in Google Chat.
Oh, you can't see the Google chat. Okay. Yeah, and then the Verbling chat. I can't see it. I can't. For some reason, the Verbling chat is not working very well.
Uh-huh.
But I'll continue writing on it if you guys can see it. So.
Okay, now I see, now I receive Kako explanation.
Okay. All right. And Kako, in this situation with Alfredo, what would you do? What would you advise Alfredo to do?
I would tell to Alfredo, you must go to the clerk and explain her the problem
Uh-huh.
and ask her to help you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she will ask you. She will ask you what's the number of the luggage. What's your ticket's number
Mm-hmm.
and your address,
Mm-hmm.
your name and address
Mm-hmm.
to rescue the luggage and to make it arrive to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And a question for you, Kako. Have you ever lost luggage when you have traveled?
No, teacher, I have never lost. I am careful about my luggage, my
Uh-huh.
carry-on, and my
Your,
how can
your,
I say
that would be called checked baggage.
checked bagged and carry-on,
Yeah,
checked
checked
and
baggage
carry-on baggage.
or checked bag. You could say that as well. Checked a bag. Either checked baggage or checked bag. Um. Okay. Um. What about the memory stick with the PowerPoint slides?
Sorry?
What the situation here? It says a memory stick with PowerPoint slides are in the luggage. And say he arrives on Tuesday. The presentation is on Tuesday evening, and there's no chance of getting this before the presentation. What would you
Yeah,
suggest we do?
yeah. I seek to. I refer to that in when I try to give him the reference of my luggage and try to get it that hurry in hurry or like that. And if they not give me a guarantee receive it before the time of this teacher or like that, I try to convince them that they should recom 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 recompense me or like that. I don't know. I seek to recompensation.
Yeah, they would compensate you is what the word is.
Compensation?
Yeah,
The
compensation to
this
compensate.
money, yeah,
Yeah, you would ask them to compensate you for the problem that you
yeah.
have. Yeah, it's interesting. When I wrote this material back in 2007, and during that time, everybody had memory sticks, thumb
Mm,
drives, right? And nowadays, everybody has it in the cloud.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, memory stick is called pen drive here in Brazil.
Hmm.
Is it called the same in English too, teacher?
Well, memory stick or thumb drive are the two that I've heard, but I think there's a lot of different ones. Um, memory drive. I think I wrote memory drive, but memory. Yeah. Those are the two I've heard, but there's all kinds of different names I think for them. But I haven't used one in years. Do you guys use them at all?
Well,
Do you use thumb drives or pen drives at all, Kako? I don't use them anymore.
I keep my files on the card, um, on the memory card of the smartphone. I
Okay.
don't save anything in the cloud, on the cloud,
Well, you don't save it in the cloud at all. Um.
in the cloud, in the cloud.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, I have lost enough that that's where I save everything is in my cloud. So, um, and Ahmed, how about you? Have you, what do you do now? Do you use memory sticks still, or do you use your memory card on your phone, or how do you save your data?
I try to save it in our computer disk in my house. And I don't usually save any information for a memory of a phone or cloud, because that I maybe I lost it many time ago, and that make me not to say, because there is here some habit not good. You can go to your country in vacation, and somebody take to steal your phone. That's something usual in my country there, and
Uh-huh.
make me not to put any important information or file in my phone.
hmm Yeah, I'm the same way about the phone. I try not to put hardly anything on the phone
Mhm.
for that reason. But what? No, Kako, do you feel confident with your phone? More confident with your phone than you do with anything else? Is that why you use the card on your phone?
Besides the phone, where I record ebooks, audiobooks,
Uh huh.
and music, music. I use a memory card, um, which I usually carry on my wallet,
In my wallet. Okay.
in my wallet.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes when I am I am going to make a presentation, for example, I
Uh huh.
save I save I save the file, the PowerPoint file,
Uh huh.
on the memory card, and at the same time in my Gmail.
Uh huh. Okay.
If
so you do
if
save
I
it. So
if I oh, okay.
isn't the Gmail like the cloud though?
I don't know, teacher. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. I'm hesitant to use like the iCloud and some of these other ones, but I definitely The fact that I've done the same thing as you. I've saved things on Gmail, and thankfully I have been able to when my computer's crashed. I had a computer crash 3 times last year, last spring, and I lost everything unless they were in my Gmail. So I've been able to get a lot of information out because of that. So I thank God for Gmail and Yahoo. So these online, um, the online emails and stuff like that. So, all right, let's go to the next one. So Ahmed, could you read this and then ask your colleagues what they would do?
Jiho is traveling to the USA for the first time. He is nervous about going through customs and worried that he won't be able to understand the customer officials. What would you advise Jiho? Okay.
Uh-huh.
My question for my colleague Coco, what would you advise this poor person?
Okay, Ahmed. I would say to him, Jeho, you had better being calm because your procedure you behaves legally. What you have in your luggage is allowed to enter in the US. There is nothing prohibited. You are fluent in English, then you are able to answer confidently to her questions. You must treat her respectful as always, and you want to have problems. You won't have problems.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Maybe he should cool down. That nobody deal with him out of law. The person, the custom service deal with this kind of service as a law practice, and he should he should he should he should cool down that nobody will harm him.
Thank you. Ahmed, when you said he should cool down, what do you mean by that?
He should not make intimidate him.
Okay, so it should not let anybody intimidate him. Okay, to cool down, it has a different meaning in English. So what it means is if somebody gets very, very angry, and they lose their temper, and so they have they get very angry and they start yelling and screaming, then they need to cool down.
Calm down or cool down?
And so I think what you said, did you say cool down or calm down?
Cool down. COOL.
Okay, then yeah, you did say okay. Yeah, and that's to cool down would be the same as to calm down. Um, in that
Uh-huh.
respect. So I think what you're trying to say is just don't worry. Um,
Uh-huh.
don't worry and don't let anyone intimidate you because you have the legal right to be there and so forth. Is what I think what you were saying, but the to cool down was not used correctly. So um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because that would
Because
be only after the person
because
gets angry.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Because yesterday I was in a site, in the American site called ESL Put.
Uh huh.
There are many stories
Uh huh.
about for reading. There was one of them called floating the floating runner, the or runner floating like that. And this story told us that there is one woman has one rare disease called MS. MS, like I don't know
Uh huh.
what
I know
that
MS.
abbreviation means.
Uh huh.
Yeah,
Multiple
and
sclerosis.
yeah, and
Uh-huh.
his colleague or his doctor cool her down when worry when she worried.
Oh, okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. In that respect, she got so worried
Mhm.
that it was almost to the point of, for example, have you heard of the word panic attack?
Yeah.
So, so she was probably experiencing a panic attack, which is very similar to anger.
Hmm.
So it was more than the normal nerves or the normal nervousness.
Hmm.
It was much deeper, and in that respect, yeah, the person would have to cool down. So you're right. For
Yeah.
example, my nephews and my niece, 5, 5, and 6, ages 5, 5, and 6. Today they had a big day. And the niece spent some time with Auntie me, and I took her to lunch to a restaurant, and the boys spent some time with friends playing. And apparently, when their parents drove them home, they were all
Hmm.
crying, and because they were so tired.
Hmm.
And it wasn't really because they were angry; they just had a fantastic day, and so they were just tired. And so when they got home, I guess that my brother-in-law uh, they had a cool down period where they were sitting down and reading books and trying to just cool down or to calm down. So cool
Hmm.
down and calm down mean the same thing. So yeah. So in this respect, if Jeho was so nervous that he started to have a panic attack or he started to hyperventilate, that would be doing that.
Hmm.
Then yeah, then that word would be perfect to cool down. Yeah, absolutely. But if it's just a regular nervous, then no. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, great. And I'm glad you're studying other elsewhere. Is that's the ESL? Is that the one that I think it was Rashid shared last night? The ESL pod.
Yeah, yeah. Is I heard him when he refer or he
Uh huh.
say something about that special site because
Uh huh.
it's very useful.
Uh huh. Awesome. That's great. That's great. Yeah, I've heard this is you're the second or third person in the last week have told me they're starting to listen to podcasts for English, and that's great. There's another one, All Ears or something like that. All Ears English or something that is I've heard is really good for podcasts.
All ears.
Yeah, All Ears. ALL Ears, EARS. All
Okay.
ears English. So, all right. So, have either of you had when you travel? Have you had any problems when you go through customs? So,
Yeah.
uh-huh. Could
I
you tell
want to
us?
give the opportunity for my colleague.
Okay, Kako, have you ever had any problems when you've gone through customs?
No, teacher. Only the usual questions that
Uh-huh.
I answered
Mm-hmm.
satisfactorily.
Uh-huh.
No
Okay.
problems.
So no problems. Okay. Now, I do want to go over one of the words that you said. Um, answer. We actually pronounce it with a without the W sound. So we say answer, even though we spell it with a W, we do not pronounce it with the W. So answer. So I answered,
Okay.
yeah, all the words.
I answered.
Perfect. So I answered
Thank you,
everything.
teacher. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I've had the same thing. I've never had any issues in customs. I said, like when I took my dog through customs in the States, they checked my bags closely and then they took the dog treats out and they didn't let me keep them. So that's about it. So, um, how about you, Ahmed? Have you ever had any problems in customs?
Yeah. I think here the there is some habit here or in this Middle East, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't want don't want to deal with the dogs. You know
Uh-huh.
the dogs have that kind of work in the police, but
Uh-huh.
because here looking for dogs as a not a good animal,
Mm-hmm.
they not comfortable when police take their dogs for their luggage, and
Uh-huh. Okay.
that makes the customs themselves open
Uh-huh.
each of bag to guarantee that not have any something not allows or not permitted.
Mm-hmm.
That what I want to say about this problem. But
Uh-huh.
my experience with this problem was in Algeria, maybe
Uh-huh.
before 3 years or 4 years, when I have only a book, but
Uh-huh.
they have some kind of book prohibited to enter the country,
Mm-hmm.
and they was have some I don't know how I can they they have some what they open the bag and took that book and go to another person to make guarantee that this book allows to enter the country, and
Mm-hmm.
after one long process gave me the book and told me no problem. That
Okay.
I think I remember
Yeah. So there was a possibility that the book that you had was possibly a banned book in that country. Ah, interesting.
yeah.
So, and also remember, when you're talking about the past, you would say three instead of 3 or 4 years later. You'd say 3 or 4 years ago. Um,
You told me that more than one time,
I
but I
haven't.
usually forget
Okay.
forget
Well,
it.
okay. Well, just to let you know, I never remember who I tell that stuff to. So, I would say that the single most mistake I hear in verbling is depends on. People say depends of, depends about. They don't say depends on. But
Uh,
anyway, so let's go on. So, um, and I apologize. I don't know if this is spelling right. I don't think this should be here. So we'll put that there. So, Kako, could you read this one?
If the name is in Portuguese, is pronounced José.
Okay.
If it is in Spanish, is José.
Okay.
José just learned that he needs to travel to Saudi Arabia for an important negotiation tomorrow. He isn't sure of protocols in SA.
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. What would you advise he should do to prepare with such short notice?
So Ahmed, what would you say he do?
Important negotiation tomorrow. He isn't sure of protocol in. I think he should before he go to Saudi Arabia to know what things allows there, and what things not allowed. What the kind of negotiation will have, and that could be make him good in or could reach a good could having a good negotiation with them. I think that.
Okay. Now, have you had experience doing any negotiations in Saudi Arabia?
But about what? That negotiation about what?
I don't know. I don't know.
You know, in these countries, I have here some kind of uh, uh, religions. Religions. The religions dominate us here. The Islamic religions dominate our behavior here in our country. And the leader of this religion took us, told us that we didn't tolerate with anybody who tried to convince us that no God exists in the world, like that. When person try to convince the person here in conference, or I don't know, in any activities here, they not usually welcoming here. That I think he want to say, but in the other subject, I think no problem. You can discuss any subject with any with you're free to say what you want to say.
Yeah. Okay. So you can. The only thing you really should not talk about then is religion.
Yeah,
right.
That I think maybe in Saudi Arabia has, in today in Saudi Arabia, no woman allows to drive the car.
I've heard that.
But this a case only in the Saudi Arabia, because there is 55 Islamic country not have that kind of behavior with women.
Yeah.
But Saudi Arabia has a الكعبة Mecca, you know,
Mecca, yeah. Hmm.
Mecca and Medina, and that gave it some special situation, not
Hmm.
like the other countries, you know. And
Uh-huh.
they try to say something about his situation is not those country like Kuwait or Qatar, or that what they want to say usually.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you. Yeah, I find cross-cultural communication between all countries very, very not difficult, but fascinating. Very, very fascinating because every country is just slightly different. And so, um, uh, Kako, um, what would you do in this situation if you were told you have 2 days to get to a country? Um, like maybe to Saudi Arabia, how would you prepare?
I would make a search on the
Uh-huh.
internet
Uh-huh.
about the local or the national culture there,
Mm-hmm.
how how their people behaves on the daily life,
Mm-hmm.
um, how are um, habits, their habits,
Uh-huh.
how are the um, the the costume, how people um, manage with foreigners visiting there. Um, how are the legislation or the protocols,
Uh-huh.
and I
So you,
would behave in a way, in a respectful way with them.
mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the one thing that I want to know before I go to a country is a little bit about the language. Um, like how to say please, thank you, good morning, that kind of
Yeah.
thing. And
Polite words.
yeah, polite words or something. And I remember almost 6 years ago now, when I returned to the States, I was contacted by a company up in Canada, and they said, "Holly, we're going down to Columbia. Will you join us? And we're going to give a presentation to the Ministry of Education about this type of learning, online learning." And I said, "Sure." And so I exactly 2 days, uh, you know, and the one thing that I did not learn anything of is Spanish, and I really didn't. I was not prepared at all um, for that country because I just didn't have any time, because I had to book my flights, I had to pack, just all these different things that I had to do. I had to cancel my appointments for other things and stuff, and I just had no time to really do a lot of research. I had a wonderful trip, but I was not ready culturally. But like you said about you would be polite and everything should be fine, and that's exactly what happened. I was polite and so forth. It was a very good trip. So,
Yeah.
but it has
I,
happened to me. So,
I want to add two thing here. The first one, as English dominates the world now, you shouldn't worry about any problem of language.
Yeah,
Uh,
I still want to.
the other thing, sorry.
I still want to know please and thank you. So.
That's the case here, even in this in our country here, even in the francophonic country like my country or like the English
Uh-huh.
has a good existing now in everywhere. That's the
Uh-huh.
first thing. The other thing, the the knowing of a language, no doubt, is very important to understand the others, because before I know a little what I want now in English, I have some feeling before that that the
Uh-huh.
English people or even the others is very not good. Not maybe
Uh-huh.
if I travel for him, maybe they killed me because they drank a lot of like that. Now, when I know more of know something about language, know how the people thinking, I have
Uh-huh.
some good, good feeling
Mhm.
about them.
Yeah.
And that what when I travel to France and to London, I saw that people is very very friendly,
Uh-huh.
and what I want to fire off, not no, 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 nothing to to fire of it,
Uh-huh.
to
Yeah.
fear.
To fear of it. Yeah. Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with you in many respects, yes. All right. Well, I want to thank you both for your participation, and I wish David could have stayed, but I think he had an internet problem. And I'll see you guys hopefully in another class. I hope you had plenty of chances to practice. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you.
Thank you,
thank you
Bye.
a
Holly.
lot, our teacher.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bye.
Thank
Ahmed.
you.